Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the lessons I learned from being unemployed 3 times in 1 year. Now let me get into it. My name is Sultana. I'm a millennial. I've been employed in 8 jobs in the last 8 years, and then last year 3 times I was unemployed. If you've ever been laid off or fired, you know that the experience can be really emotionally jarring, and for me it was kind of traumatic the first time, especially the first time. I'd never been fired before. I'd never been let go, and I mean, I've quit plenty of times, but never from the other end did I receive a termination letter. And that made me feel all kinds of feelings. So if you were in that boat, or if you've ever been let go, tell me how you felt. Let other people know that they're not alone either, because it can be an isolating feeling. It's something that you don't necessarily want to talk about. And here I am talking about it because I think we do need to talk about it more. And also because I like to talk. Would I be here if I didn't? For real? Okay, so let me start. What I've learned is that it can be really emotionally taxing being in a big change. But once I'm out of the change, I notice that I can look back and realize that, you know what, maybe that happened for a reason. And I know that's such a stupid thing that you hear when you're going through something, and it never helps when you're going through it to hear it from someone else. But really and truly, when it comes to my career experiences, I can look back on the jobs that I've had and think, I had that job for a reason. I lost that job for a reason, or I moved on from that job for a reason, and it all worked out in my best interest in the end. So when I found myself unemployed this last year, I really needed to hold on to that. So let me tell you some of the things that I've learned from looking back. So number one is actually the reason that I really enjoyed having work in the industry that I was in. I was in network utility construction industry, okay? I was considered an essential worker during the pandemic. And year after year, the growth of companies that are employing people like me just keeps going up. So you think the industry as a whole is stable. And that is very true. However, the positions themselves don't get to enjoy that same stability, because while the companies might be growing, they might be growing by cutting people like me out. To give you some context, I was a project coordinator. It's a job in which you kind of use it as a stepping stone to get to project manager. Usually, I had already been in this role for maybe 5 to 7 years. In that time, I've learned that a lot of the openings that are available now, especially, are contract positions, and they may pay you more, but they're even less stable. And then the jobs that I have had that weren't contract, the companies went through mergers, they went through reorganizations, things have shuffled around so much that actually the job ended up not being stable. I would get hired on and my manager would get fired. The company would be purchased. I would no longer be in project management. I'm now in finances, and it made no sense. And I was always finding myself questioning, like, this is just too much. Too much moving around, too much change. I hate change, and yet I had 8 jobs in 8 years. So I think that was one of the big things for me this last year. For this year, I didn't want to be a part of that industry anymore, because I did not like the instability for someone in the position that I would have. Even if the industry as a whole was stable and there was always work available, there was always postings for hiring, it didn't necessarily translate to personal stability for me. Number 2, no job is completely secure. I have a child, and even if I didn't, I am a Capricorn. I don't like the idea of relying on one source for all of my needs. And so for me, I needed to take that third layoff as a sign that, you know what, maybe I need to really take things seriously and find additional sources of income. And for me, I have tried my hand at selling digital products, digital art. It's slow going. I've had a lot of, false starts, I've tried looking within. What is it that I would really enjoy doing? So, coaching. I really would love to get into coaching. I think I fell into a lot of imposter syndrome there. And also, just this last year, I think I said it in my last video, I have just been sick so much. I just really cannot dedicate myself, commit myself to showing up consistently online enough to even market myself. And that really sucks. And so I want to get into doing something that's fun and enjoyable and creative. So I am still drawing on and off for funsies. That's a personal hobby. That's something that's allowing me to feel more energized. But I'm also here on YouTube talking to you guys, building a community. And then I'm also selling on Depop. I've only gotten 3 sales on Depop, but honestly, packaging those orders was the funnest thing ever. All I've ever wanted to do is own a small business where I like sell little stickers and put them in a bag, slap on the shipping label, have the whole ASMR experience. That's something that I've always wanted to do, and I was able to get that experience through selling on Depop. However, like I said, I've only gotten 3 orders, and so the universe needs to come in with some more orders so I can fill that internal longing. Number 3, the third lesson that I learned was that, you know what, the universe has my back. They've got this. I just need to like learn to let go. In December, the first day of December, I got a call from my boss and HR, and I was laid off. I'd already been furloughed by this company, and now I was being officially laid off. And just before Christmas, you know, that's not the kind of thing that you want to hear from your company. That's not the kind of call you want to get on December 1st, but that's the call that I got. I had a choice to stress about it or just for once commit to collecting unemployment, enjoying my holidays as best as I can, and then worrying about it January 1st, because nobody is hiring anybody in December. Nobody is doing hiring interviews and taking it seriously in the weeks before Christmas, in the weeks before New Year's. Not in my industry. I know that for a fact, okay? So there was no point in freaking out and applying to a bunch of places. I just made sure I kept an eye out on what was available on LinkedIn, Indeed, and I applied for unemployment, and that was what I had to do. But back to the actual lesson that I had to learn was every time I look back on every one of the jobs that I've ever walked away from or that I've started a new position, any type of change that has happened in my career, I have been able to look back and see the pattern like, yes, I really needed that for my growth. That may have been difficult for me in that time, but honestly, that was the best thing that could have happened to me. And so when that happened to me in December, I was like, you know what? Maybe this just isn't the right move for me. Maybe this isn't the right position. And so I just held on to that. And that is the feeling that I carry with me in regard to anything regarding to 9 to 5 work. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. And whatever is in my best interest, I'm sure the universe will bring it to me. I'm still going to, put myself out there. I'm still doing my best work, but I'm not worrying about long-term decisions. I'm not worrying about whether or not something that's happening right now is going to cause me harm. Either it is or it isn't. Do your best, forget the rest, and move on. I just had to live with that. It was freaking Christmas. Anyway, number 4. If you've ever been fired, if you've ever been laid off, you might have this feeling that I felt, which was, wow, I must really suck. Is anyone going to want to hire me? Taking being let go super personally. And you cannot take that personally because there is no job that is completely secure. No company is going to put you before their bottom line, their Q4 profits, okay? So you really need to understand that it's not personal. It's not about you. They don't actually care. Even if they say that they care, they might care about your safety. They don't want you to die, but at the end of the day, it's not their problem if your bills get paid. They don't care. You need to take that same level of neutrality, look at your resume, take the skills that you have, make it look as good as you can, and just hold on to that. Don't hold on to, well, obviously I had these issues, or maybe these reasons were why I was let go. Don't do that to yourself, okay? That's not going to help you in any way, shape, or form. It's just going to make you feel despondent and demoralized when you're looking for more work. And let me tell you, the job market already effing sucks. It already effing sucks. Don't do that to yourself. So don't take it personally. Don't let it mean anything about you that you were let go. Move on with your life. That is what I had to do, and it was very difficult the first time that it happened to me. It took months for me to find another job. It was hard on my heart. So you might find yourself finding it difficult to move on. When I say move on, I say that in your best interest, not in a way to dismiss your pain, because it took me months to find a job, and honestly, I took the first job that came my way. I don't necessarily recommend that to you, because I ended up leaving that job for the same reason I left other jobs. It just slowed things down. Number 5, the final lesson. If you've made it to this point in the video, it took me like an hour to figure out where to record, and I ended up in the most boring corner of my entire house. I am so sorry, but it was the best lighting that I could find without a bunch of laundry behind me. So, number 5, if you feel like your job is insecure, if you feel like your industry is unstable, then you might end up feeling incredibly anxious about your career in general. That is honestly very normal. I know that I felt like that the first time that I was laid off. So I was laid off. I wasn't laid off. Around March, it was just that my contract finished. And so they were like, we're not going to extend your contract, and the work that you've completed is complete. So we're just going to say goodbye at this point. And that was because I was working for PG&E, and if you know anything about that, PG&E is like they were being sued, and so they were looking to cut. The easiest way for them is to cut out contractors, and that's why they hire contractors, so they can lay them off more easily. So I was let go from PG&E at that time, and then in November, around Thanksgiving, I was furloughed, and in December, they officially laid me off. And at that point, you know, my boss, we'd been talking, but I mean, it doesn't change the fact that it's the holidays and I have bills to pay. I have presents to save up for. And the job was great to find balance and peace in my life again. But the fact of the matter is that it did not pay my bills. It was not a low paying job. It's just that rent is what it is. Diapers cost what they cost. And I needed more money to be furloughed and then laid off. It was frustrating, but in December, like I said, I just had to find a way to come to terms with it, enjoy my holiday, and then start back up in January. This might not be helpful for you, but I just really, again, I had to let go and learn to trust the universe. Every time I've done that, it has worked out in my favor. The times that I have not trusted the universe, the times that I said, you know what, I'm stressed, I'm anxious, I'm just going to take this job, I've downplayed my own worth and accepted something that I knew was not going to be the best challenge for me or the best fit for me. I just went with it anyway. I ended up with all of the problems that I could have predicted for myself. Even if the position was a great position, there was something inside of me that knew I needed to work harder in finding my personal passions and pursuing those. But I didn't. And part of me was like, you know what, maybe if I just wasn't working, I would be able to focus more on myself. And I feel like the universe listened a little too hard. She was like, all right, bet. You're out of a job. Now what? Now what? And I was too anxious to work on any of my personal pursuits. I had my son at home. I was watching him. So it's not like I really had time to myself. I had the time to myself during his naps, if he napped. It was just too much going on, and I'm overly stimulated, easily overwhelmed. Yeah, I'm just easily overwhelmed, and that's what happened to me. And so I just started looking for work instead, and I took the first job that came my way. And you know what? Then I was too busy to do personal projects, and when I wasn't busy, I just ignored that part of myself, and I got sad. That's just what happens, you know? You ignore parts of yourself, and you feel yourself dying inside. And I don't want to do that. whether I stay consistent, and that's something that I've had to learn as someone who is multi-passionate, it's not about staying consistent to one particular thing. It's about staying consistent to myself. I'm enjoying something right now. Like right now, I'm enjoying recording videos, editing videos, and I'm going to be putting them online. Or maybe I am spending time drawing and I really want to draw. I really want to make stickers. I really want to make cash envelopes in a super creative way. 3 months from now, I might decide, you know what, I'll just buy the pre-made stuff. I don't need to be making these. Then that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna force myself to stay creative in one pursuit just for the sake of staying committed to that one line. That's so rigid, and that's not what I'm about. I wanted to try resin. I bought some resin. I tried it. Cool. Am I mad that I spent a bunch of money on resin toppings? No, because I can try those out in my new hobbies. Like, I'm gonna start cash stuffing and glue those into my little cash envelopes. Cool, they're gonna be cute. I love it. I'm happy for myself. Did I just say myself? You know, I have a Cricut. I have a printer. Do I use them? Not right now. But when I start cash stuffing, I might. I might make more t-shirts down the line. I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life. I'm collecting skills along the way. I'm collecting experiences that make me happy. I don't know how I got off topic so badly. Well, I know because I'm not using a script. I'm not using a script and I got off topic. But you know what? This is a chatty video. This is just a chatty video. We're doing it. This is what we did. These were the 5 lessons that I learned from being unemployed 3 times in 1 year after having 8 jobs in 8 years. Okay? If you have any questions about the work that I've done or being a project manager, being a project coordinator, and whether or not it's worth getting into, let me know in the comment section. You can relate and you have a graveyard of hobbies. Tell me in the comment section. I want to know who my people are because those are my people. You know, I was actually looking forward to recording this video, and then after I was just going around every corner of my house trying to figure out where to record this video. It like took away the energy that I had built up. And you know what? I'm glad that I recorded it because actually doing a chatty video was a little bit more fun. I'm not mad, but maybe when I edit this video, I'll be a little bit mad at myself. We'll see. It was a learning lesson. This is like my 3rd video, okay? I'm not going to be mad at myself. If you're mad at me, tell me in the comment section. Say this was mad annoying. Respect, man. Respect. Give me a thumbs up so that I know you hated this video.